This is from the website choosingtherapy.com. 12 Signs of Narcissistic Friends, What They Do and Say. It's written by Brooks Watts. While a friend's narcissistic qualities may not be obvious early on, you may even find them to be selfless and complimentary. These friendships often turn one-sided, conflictory, territorial, and sometimes aggressive. Narcissistic friends seek out constant praise, prioritize their own needs, lack empathy, have high expectations of their friends, and often end friendships when they no longer serve them. It's common to become fast friends with narcissists because they're often supportive, thoughtful, and engage early on in relationships. At this stage, they may even go above and beyond what's expected of a new friend. However, if you're friends with a narcissist, you may find that over time they turn egocentric, unsupportive, territorial, entitled, dismissive, unreasonable, and even aggressive. 16 signs of a narcissistic friend are: 1. They seek out praise and admiration. Because they don't know how to self-validate or find internal self-worth, narcissistic friends seek out, expect, and even demand praise and admiration to fuel their self-esteem. This may look like asking you to like their Instagram post, fishing for compliments, or expressing superficial insecurity in hopes that you will compliment them to make them feel better, e.g., I promise your hair doesn't look bad, you look amazing today. 2. They put their own needs first. Because narcissists view themselves as above or better than others, they tend to be preoccupied with their own satisfaction and lack empathy for their friends' needs. If you have plans to meet a narcissistic friend for lunch, they may run late, not apologize, and say they don't understand why you're so bothered. If you do express a need or preference, for example, if we're going to meet for lunch tomorrow, we can't meet up any later than 12 p.m. The narcissist friend may ignore the request or accuse you of being controlling or selfish. Conversation stay surface level. 3. Narcissists may initially be perceived by friends as being introverted or private and covert, when in reality they are keeping conversations superficial in an effort to avoid intimacy. Narcissistic friends often only share information about themselves with others when it's self-promoting, e.g., bragging about their accomplishments or assist them in personal gain. In addition to not sharing anything personal or vulnerable with you, narcissistic friends may not ask any questions about you. This is the case for 2 reasons. First, a narcissist tends to have little genuine interest in others, as they would rather focus on themselves. Second, narcissists will avoid interaction in which vulnerability is expected of them. This means the narcissist doesn't ask friends questions like, how are you doing since your dad's death? Because that may lead to a more vulnerable conversation which they are expected to speak about their own experience with loss. 4. They aren't there for you when you really need them. That's true. Narcissists struggle to identify other needs, understand their feelings, and offer validation unless doing so is perceived as irrelevant or beneficial to them personally. In a friendship, this may look like avoiding emotional conversations, not showing up when you're going through a hard time, or bad-mouthing you because you're struggling. 5. Accept when it's in their best interest. Despite often not being there for you, when you need them, narcissistic friends may go above and beyond to show compassion, other times usually around the start of a friendship. Communal narcissists may spend hours on the phone with you when you're going through a breakup, but only so that they can claim they're the best friend ever or that they give the best advice. Beware that they may also use this experience as leverage the next time they need something from you. 6. They act entitled to time with you. Narcissists expect to get what they want and often believe they are owed or deserving of time with their friends. This may look like demanding that you spend time with them, or getting angry or going into a fit of rage with you if you cancel plans. If you don't meet their expectations, narcissistic friends may retaliate with aggression, threats of finding a better friends, or by giving you the silent treatment. Actually pay for reading this. 7. They put you down. Because narcissists want a constant supply of attention and to make their accomplishments known, they may disregard your strength and success and instead highlight their own. If you tell a narcissistic friend that you got a great job offer, they may cut you off, change the conversation, or steal the spotlight by talking about themselves, or in an effort to manage their insecurity and jealousy. 8. They have unreasonable expectations. So oftentimes what a narcissistic friend wants and feels entitled to is unreasonable to expect from a friend. For example, a narcissistic friend may ask you to give them a ride to the airport in the middle of the night and not understand why you say no. 9. They rarely show remorse. When you tell a narcissistic friend that they hurt your feelings, for example, making a comment about your weight, they will often respond by getting defensive and denying that they did anything wrong. They may say something like, "I thought you want to know, it's not my fault you're so sensitive." To narcissists, apologizing or showing remorse means their imperfections and faults have been exposed, which compromises their grandiose sense of self. That being said, narcissistic friends will apologize for or show remorse when it helps them meet their needs. For example, if you're planning to take a narcissistic friend to an exclusive party and they make a hurtful comment about your weight, they may profusely apologize when confronted so that you don't rescind the invitation. That's true, yes. In these cases, despite being apologetic in the moment, narcissistic friends will avoid talking about the interaction or become hostile if you bring it up after their needs going to exclusive party have been met. They struggle to forgive. 10. This is one I have observed. Not only do narcissists have a hard time apologizing to friends, they also struggle to forgive them. Narcissists' sense of entitlement makes them believe they are deserving of specific and special treatment, and that not being treated this well is unjust and a violation of their rights. Whilst in other friendships you may apologize for getting to return a phone call and instantly forgiven, narcissistic friends will have a harder time forgiving and may even adopt a "you owe me" attitude to get you to do something for them in the future. Keep in mind, narcissists occasionally do forgive their friends, but only when it helps them get their needs met or gives them leverage. 11. They use or exploit you. Yep, that's true. Narcissists tend to view people in their lives as objects to meet their needs, which means which may mean doing anything necessary to reach that goal. Narcissistic friends may use you for your resources or connections, or even use your past unacceptable behavior as leverage to get you to do what they want. Some narcissistic friends collect and threaten blackmail you, e.g. exploit you by leaking embarrassing photos or videos, tell you will be nothing without them, or guilt you into giving them what they want. The most dangerous thing I've observed in my lifetime is when you have a group of narcissists that are friends with each other. It's just utter chaos. I've been in the middle of that in my life. It's just utter chaos. They're jealous for your other relationships. While narcissists likely won't tell you that they're jealous of your other relationship, platonic, romantic or otherwise, they may demonstrate behaviour that are characteristic of someone who is jealous. The jealousy arises because narcissists need constant approval and validation, and your attention being elsewhere threatens this. Narcissistic friends may demand that you spend more time with them and end other relationships, or even try to turn you and your other friends against each other. Yeah, I've resolved that, yes. Very grateful for this post. 13. The lash out. While conflict is a natural part of many friendships, narcissists tend to lash out towards friends in distinct ways. Narcissistic friends often turn hostile or aggressive when they don't receive the admiration they crave and when they perceive criticism, indifference, or disrespect. This may look like gossiping, gaslighting, spreading lies, or slandering you to others, all in an attempt to self-protect and bolster their grandiose views of themselves. 14. You feel drained after spending time with them. When spending time with friends, narcissists try to be the center of attention. And they brag about their accomplishments and expect or demand more than is reasonable. As a result, you may leave interactions with narcissist friends feeling frustrated, resentful, and depleted of energy. Again, true. The end of friendship when it stops serving them. 15. Yeah, this is probably one of those painful ones I've read so far from experience. Just compose myself. Narcissists often reach a point where they decide the relationship no longer serves them. They may become dissatisfied with the type of admiration you're willing to give them, sense that you're drained and aren't offering them as much attention as you used to, or decide that the praise and attention would mean more from a different source. So while narcissistic friends are in constant search of validation, the effects of receiving it are short-lived. The narcissist often eventually chooses another highly status friend to seek validation from ones they have extracted as much from you as they can. 16. They seek out better friends. As mentioned, narcissists move on to a different friendship when they've gotten all the admiration they can out of the current ones. Narcissists are also on the lookout for the next best friendship opportunity, as having friends who they deem valuable helps the narcissist feel as though they have attained a certain level of status. How to deal with a narcissistic friend. Dealing with a narcissist can be challenging. You may try setting boundaries in the friendship, in which case it's important that you're firm and asserting your needs, as Raven may invite a narcissist friend to violate and push your limits. Name their undesired behaviour clearly. Do not tell people the secret I told you, and restate their assertion as many times as needed. Remember that a narcissistic friend may try to redirect the conversation attention onto themselves. Ultimately, it may be your best interest to end the narcissistic friendship. When and how a therapist can help. You may benefit from seeing a therapist if you're concerned about your friendship with a narcissist and the cycle of a narcissistic abuse. I've got that for most of my life. Experiencing decreased self-esteem, need help setting boundaries, yes. Or are thinking about ending the friendship altogether. Individual therapy is a reasonable, valuable resource for tackling each of these issues. Behavioural therapies can be effective to treat symptoms that may arise as a result of being friends with a narcissist. For example, cognitive behavioural therapy, CBT, I've done that before. Helps friends of narcissists change thought patterns and behaviours that they may result from the friendship, while acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, supports clients in determining whether certain parts of the friendship or the friendship in general are in line with the client's values. Many therapists are trained in multiple behavioural therapies and utilise components from each. If you are interested in pursuing therapy, consider finding a therapist. Final thoughts on narcissistic friends. Being friends with narcissists can create interpersonal challenges and bring up difficulty and sometimes unexpected emotions. That being said, there are healthy ways to move forward whether or not you decide to maintain the friendship. Then they give out brief signs of a narcissistic friend. They seek out praise and admiration. They put their needs first. Their conversations, they suffer others. They aren't there for you when you really need them, except when it's in their best interest. They act entitled to time with you. They put you down. They have unreasonable expectations. They rarely show remorse. They struggle to forgive. They use or exploit you. They're jealous of your other relationships. They lash out. You feel drained after spending time with them. They end the friendship when it stops serving them. They seek out better friends. That's 12 signs of narcissistic friends, what they do and say. Thanks. I hope this video can be of a help to you if I yourself have narcissistic traits and are a narcissist yourself, which I pray that God may help you with that, or if you have friendships that are narcissists, may that you be understanding and pray for them.